All right, welcome guys to another Family First Life Relentless podcast. We're extremely excited to have this power couple with us today. If you could help me welcome Patrick Bowers. You got a good cheering one, Pat. That was good.
I feel like that went a little longer than normal.
And Amie Bowers. Awesome, guys. So if you could, Pat, I'm going to start with you. We've been trying to get you in here for a while, first off. And if you would have been our first guest if you didn't live like 6 hours away. But if you guys could just introduce yourselves, where you come from, your background, and kind of what brought you to Family First Life. Pat, I'll start with you.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Alondra. Thank you, Sean, Mike, Andrew, Taylor. Just blessed to be here. And sorry that it's taken so long. We've been pretty focused on producing, I'd say, for a while. And we're just happy to be here. So super stoked.
Awesome.
Our background, for me, I came from the world of education. I was an English teacher for about 20 years. My wife and I, Amie and I, had both, we had dabbled in some entrepreneurial stuff, but we never had anything that was successful enough to where we could just totally break free from education. And we stumbled upon this. Amie will tell you more about it because she's the one who found FFL. But we would always hold on to that W-2 job because that's what provided us with the benefits, the health insurance, and we knew we could get that paycheck, but it was also never enough. That the definition of job just over broke. We were surviving, we were doing well for our kids, but it wasn't as much as we knew we could do for our kids and for others. And we tried some different things. We had a surf shop for a while in the early 2000s. We had a food truck at one time. We did CrossFit for a while, and we're training people. We thought about opening our own school for a while. So we'd done different things, dabbled in different things. And when we found this, it was like, if we just work hard like we've done our whole lives, we can really, we can do well. It's not rocket science, it's insurance. And we don't know anything about insurance, but we know how to work hard. And so when we finally, just set to it, got our test, passed our test, got licensed, we went to work in September, and it's been amazing. It's been such a blessing for us.
Awesome. Well, Pat, you gave me a lot of info to dissect, and we'll definitely go back over a lot of that. I want to hear about the food truck, by the way. But, if I could talk to your wife, Amie, can you kind of talk about, again, how you found FFL and, going along this journey with Pat, kind of bouncing into different things and what the stability of FFL has done for you and your family?
Yeah, sure. So we knew we had taken a kind of a 2-year hiatus, took our kids out of traditional schooling, and we did a family gap year where Pat was still in education, but we were kind of doing our own thing. And that kind of came to a halt with COVID. We couldn't travel any longer. And so Pat decided he was going to dive back into being an administrator at public school. So that brings me to helping Pat get back into that position. I was on an education job site, and somehow Family First Life, an ad popped up. And I started looking at it for me because I was a stay-at-home mom, had been for 12 years, and wheels were always turning. Pat and I were always trying to create a way for the two of us to work together, and have our family set up so that we can kind of all be on the same schedule and just working towards the same goals together. So when I first saw the ad for Family First Life, I was thinking this was something I could do. And being that 2 months prior, Pat and I had kind of had this talk about, okay, the entrepreneurial stuff needs to be on hold for a while. So even though I just went, the wheels were still turning for me. So I see this, and I was reluctant at first to share it with Pat. I'm just I'm going to check this out for myself. And actually that brought me to YouTube, where I came across Josh and Alondra's video, and that I was just so intrigued and so impressed by the two of them working together. That had always been a goal for Pat and I. So 2 days later, I just dove deep into all these videos, Family First Life, and 2 days later, I'm like, okay, I have to share this with Pat. So that's when, and I chose your guys' video to do it. And he was like, this is amazing. Is this real? I'm like, I don't know. It looks fake, and he said, well, why don't you go ahead and get licensed and check it out? And so I kind of went along with him then, thinking he's definitely going to do this with me. So long story short, he ended up diving deep into the videos as well, and then the two of us getting licensed. And like Pat said, we've been in it for 6 months, and like he quit his full-time teaching job in January, and like we've never looked back.
Well, first off, I'm super excited and blessed that you saw that ad
on an education.
And, that Family First Life, we do such a great job at getting the people that are doing the right work out there, which is awesome. But I think there's what I really love about you guys. You guys are extremely genuine. You're passionate about what you do. You have a family, so there's no time to mess around. But I think just hearing more about just hearing you guys talk, we were kind of in the same boat. Because I was like, hey, I'm going to be 30 years old. Like, I need to get my crap together because I keep bouncing around trying to make something work. But I wasn't happy with what I was doing. And it kind of sounds like we were in the same boat with you guys. And it was like, I know there's something out there that is meant for me and that is better than what this is providing my family right now. And I think, Pat, you being in teaching and, it was your stability, right? It provided for the family. We had the benefits. And I think there's a lot of people right now just out there with the current state of our country that are kind of like, hey, man, my job's not as secure as I thought it would be, as it once was. What I want to hear from you, because I know Amie was like, we're in, I want to do it. Like, let's get after it. But how did it click for you to think like, hey, I can provide for my family with this, and, I could double or triple or quadruple my income just working, in insurance and helping families and doing something that I'm passionate about?
So I didn't think that immediately. I mean, listening to you guys and hearing about travel trips to Hawaii where you would write, $40,000 in a weekend each, or whatever crazy numbers were being thrown out there. Those were all good, but I was like, well, if we can do $10,000 a month, that would be really good. We don't need to shoot for $40,000. Let's just make some kind of an impact to start with, see what it does. And I held on to the teaching job. When we first started in September, the plan was let's get through this year in education, and if it's really good, then in June, then I can resign. I remember at that same time, I remember seeing Jen Okoro talk about she had started in September of 2019, and she had resigned from whatever she was doing. I think she was going to school to be a nurse, or she was a nurse. She resigned in January, and I thought, oh my gosh, okay, June is our target, but if things go really well, we could actually bump that up to January. And so we started in September. Our first Americo deposit was for $1,100 on September 10th, and we ended up getting another $8,000 in Americo deposits alone within that month. And so we had doubled what the W-2 could do in deposits, and that's only 75% of what we're going to get. Once we get to months 10, 11, and 12, we're going to start seeing more, the rest of that come in. So very quickly, within probably 2 days of running appointments, we were like, yeah, this is real. We can do this. We just work.
I love it. And it's funny because, a lot of people outside looking in, you're like, okay, this is just another ad like on Facebook talking about all the money they make. And it's like, there's no way that can be true. Right. And Pat, I'm more the straight line thinker like you. I'm like, okay, well, we've got to do it first for any of this to be real, And 100. Amie, I'm sure was already like, I already knew this was going to come to fruition. Like we already knew we were going to kill it. But how did that feel, Amie, when you saw Pat and you guys work it together? Yeah. But when you guys saw that commission go in, saw that, close to $10,000 your first month, like what clicked for you guys together? Because I already know you're more of like, I knew this could happen. We just had to work at it. But how big was it to see Pat kind of go all in and believe in the system?
It was awesome. And like it happened very quickly. I knew it would, but I remember like coming to him, because again, our goal was June. And I remember coming to him in January. It was, or like late December one night. I was in my room like crunching numbers, and I was like, wait a minute, it doesn't make sense for Pat to stay full-time as a teacher. Like we need to dive in deep to Family First Life and this amazing opportunity. And so we figured it out, like to replace his teaching income, we only needed to sell 2 additional policies a month. And so we talked about it that night, and the next day he turned in his 2-week notice, because we were like, 2 policies a month can replace your income. Like, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So he bought in like immediately, like he said, within the first 2 days. But it took us a few months, and then we felt confident that we knew we could just do this without all the safety nets of a W-2.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of people that we've had on these podcasts, they all come from insurance. A lot of them, they already know the financial potential, what you can make. And, if you build the team, how much better it gets for you. But outside looking in, like, like Alondra and I, we were like, okay, no, we got to go do it first, because I don't know if there's money there. Like, I don't know if this makes sense. But with you guys, I think it was powerful because we had a team Zoom call. And I think Pat had said, I just put in my 2-week notice. And I was like, holy crap, like he did? like I was nervous for him. But then I was thinking, I'm like, well, once you're in it, the numbers and the money it gets, you normalize it. Making 10 to 20 grand a month, that's normal here. So I think, when you finally start getting a taste of that money and how easy it is just going out to help families that are requesting help, like it starts adding up real quick, because it's not like, hey, Pat, I need all your cell phone. I need all the contacts in your phone. That's the only way you can make it work. No, it's literally just purchasing leads, calling them, going to sit with them, and protecting their family. You don't have to be a master salesman. You don't have to be the best speaker. But Pat, for you, I know you've been around in a couple different industries, but how does this stack up to everything else you've done working in the industry, and just the benefits you feel, and how you feel after protecting a family? How does it compare to anything you've done?
Oh, it's amazing. I would liken it to the feeling that you get as an educator when you have a student who is like all in, wants to learn from you, isn't after the grade, but is after the result that's going to come from learning. Like when you sit with a family and you're able to help them see the benefit of this policy and how this policy is going to take care of the results that they're looking for. And when you walk out of there that you have just secured their legacy, that there's no better feeling. So I would liken it to like the rare moments in education where you really felt like you were making a difference for a student. And those moments are amazing in education. You don't get paid anymore for it. You could, the teacher who is making that kind of an impact with a student is getting paid the exact same amount as the teacher who shows YouTube videos of the history of, the Civil War, World War II, like you name it, like that teacher's getting the same amount of money. They're just going up the salary schedule every year. But here you have the incentive to help those families because it's going to help your family, So that has just been a game changer for me. It's like, we've always wanted to work hard, but now in this, you get rewarded for working hard. And the people that you're surrounded with, the people who are going to make it here are the ones who are going to work hard. So then you see after, we've been in it for 6 months, the people that we're working with, the people that we're surrounded by are hard workers like you and Alondra. And I love it because we feel like we have to work as hard as we possibly can in order to keep up. That's what we want. We don't want to always feel like we're working harder than anybody else,
I think you hit on a lot of good stuff there, Pat. One thing, back in 2018, I tell everybody that comes on board that's new with us, I was like, I worked 13 jobs in 2018. And it wasn't because I was scared of hard work. I just knew that I was capped, and it didn't matter how much value I brought to that workplace. I was getting paid the same no matter what. Like if I showed YouTube videos like you didn't do, Pat, or we spent the extra time and met with the kids after class, like you're getting paid the same, you know. And I think there's a lot of people out there that they just get so content and satisfied, and you know, we're paying our bills. Like it's COVID, like we're literally just providing for our family, but we're going to bed at night like dreaming like, hey, what else can we do? Because I know I can provide a better life for my family than what I'm currently doing. And I think there's so many people out there that are unlicensed, don't know about the life insurance industry, that need to find us. And that's why we're trying to do more podcasts like this, like with people like you guys, normal people that are hard workers, that care about people that just want better for their families. So Amie, can you kind of describe, you know, you guys have kids. I'm sure they've said like, okay, what the heck, mom and dad, like you're leaving your job, like your dad, you're not teaching anymore, like you're not going to school, like how's that been just in the house for your family? And how much more time do you guys have with them when you're not like out in the field protecting families?
Yeah, so so I've been a stay-at-home mom, so they were used to that. But we've made sure that we allow them to see the vision too. So it's a family vision and not just Pat and I working our butts off where our kids are like, what are you guys doing all the time? We made sure they're a huge part of it. We've actually gone as far as giving them roles. For our daughter to buy in, she's the baby, and she was like, Mom, why are you working, you know? So I'm like, hey, you want to be a part of this? So she's had an interview and a job position, and same with our two boys. But they're all thrilled. Actually, our oldest son, he's a freshman in high school, and he's just like, Mom, when can I start selling insurance? When can I start helping these families? Like, they get it. But we make sure. I mean, we've had leads that, you know, aren't as well off as a lot of other people we work with. And we've brought the family to the grocery store and bought groceries for people in need and brought them to them. So we just make sure it is a family unit. It's a family business. It's family first life. I mean, it makes sense.
Yep. And I think I remember you guys telling me that. It was like a Sunday, I remember. And I was like, hey, guys, I just wanted to check, you know, I see how everything's going. And you're like, hey, we're actually at the grocery store. We're going to take this family that wasn't in a good situation. We're going to just drop them off some groceries. And it's just like, holy crap. Like, where else can we do this? And it's like, you know, we get paid more than we deserve. Like, we'll just put it right there. Like, there's no way we should get paid the amount we do just for helping people. And it's so cool to be able to give back and to have those, you know, honestly, like lifelong relationships with the people we serve, and for them to be so appreciative. Like, hey, you know, like Pat, I'm sure you say all the time, like, John, on your worst day, I'm going to be there for your family. Like, that's deep, you know. And even, you know, as small thing like groceries, stuff that we take for granted, it's like if we can make our clients' day better just by doing something that, you know, normal, just going to get groceries, like, it's pretty dang cool. Pat, I wanted to I roll back into what you were talking about, because I think a lot of people are in the same boat, like entrepreneur-wise, figuring out like where to go, because we want to do it. We see people that are successful doing it. Can you kind of talk about, you know, what you've done outside of life insurance that was in, you know, like the entrepreneurial side of you guys, what you did prior to insurance?
So the first thing we did after Amie and I got married, she was going to go into education with me. But once I was in for just a couple of years and I saw the bureaucracy and I saw how it's just, there are people who don't share the vision with you. So we quickly decided, okay, we're going to start our own thing, and you're not going to go into education. Don't follow me here. I don't recommend it. So what else can we do? Well, at that time we had just picked up surfing, and every shop that we would go to, it felt like the people who, when we would walk in, there'd be this like stigma where, oh, you guys are new. Okay, then we're not going to treat you with respect. So we decided, all right, we're going to open up a surf shop. Then we'll be nice to the people who come in and want to learn how to surf. And so we did. In 2003, we opened up a surf shop. It did really well. We expanded, moved to a different location, got bigger. Our first child, Beckett, who's now in high school, he was like a little surf bum in the shop with us. Like he was there. We were changing diapers. We'd lock the door to change diapers. And everything was good until the crash in like 2008, you know, when the housing market plummeted and people didn't have any kind of disposable income. and we were working harder, spending more time there than we ever had, and we were making less money. So then we came to the end of our lease, and we had to make a decision. Are we going to go spend more time like building a family, or are we going to try to like salvage this into something? And we just decided at that time it was a good spot for us to break. So we let go of the shop, let the lease go. We told the landlord that we just weren't going to renew, and we moved on. And then at that time we had gotten into CrossFit. So it was like, hey, let's get some certifications, and we'll start training the athletes at the school. We'll start training them before school, after school, over the summer. And we did that for a couple of years. There might be some athletes that I train that are actually like watching this video, listening to it at some point, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember training with Coach Bowers. But that was just like, that was unsustainable as well. It just took up too much time, didn't have enough of a return on investment, was taking time away from our family. So we moved away from that. Amie started the Sweets in Motion, cupcake bus. And she and her sister were doing that. So that I really didn't have a part in that, except for my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law and I would wash the thing every time it had to go out. And then it was, the last thing was the school, like thinking of starting our own school. It was going to be like the Hero's Journey school. And that again was just going to require like a whole bunch of venture capital to actually get it launched. And it wasn't something we could do without getting a bunch of money funneled in to start with. And we're not the kind of people who want to ride on the backs of a venture capitalist. Like that's not us. We want to build this. Whatever it is, we wanted to build it ourselves. And so when we came here, that this had everything we wanted. Like there was the opportunity for us to work together. There was the opportunity for us to make money off of the money we had. We didn't need to get some huge loan in order to fund this dream. So this, and starting out, like keeping the W-2 job and just doing this part-time allowed us to like learn as we go, you want to go fast and break things. You want to get in the house, you want to get in the home, sit down, and you're not going to know everything. You're going to mess things up, but you're going to learn every single step of the way. And having the W-2 job for those 4 months allowed us to work through what we needed to work through. And now it just feels like it's time to step on the gas and go.
Yeah, I love it. And one thing just I knew prior to this, guys, but you guys have hearts to serve other people. And it's pretty cool because, again, there's so many people and small business owners that, they have a big dream, but they just don't have the platform or the stability to do so, or have all the capital to open up what they want to do. And one thing that's, awesome here at Family First Life is, you're pretty much franchised day one. Like there's no overhead, there's no brick and mortar. It's literally, you're just purchasing, leads in whatever budget you're comfortable with and going to work right away day one. And you're able to become profitable in your first 30 days, which is freaking cool because not many places you can do that. And one thing I tell Alondra all the time, and she makes fun of me, but I wanted to open a mattress store. If FFL didn't work out, no joke, but she's laughing, but I literally wanted to open a mattress store. And I was doing so much research, and I was like, babe, this will work. Give me a shot. Like, our FFL commissions, it can help me to open this mattress store. And guys, I was so pumped because I found the location. I did all the groundwork, but it was still $20,000 to start that business. And it's like, if it was probably $5,000, I probably would have done it. I don't know if I would have been here with you guys today, but thank God it didn't work out because, this has been the biggest blessing being with Family First Life and helping people like you guys, just get the ball rolling and getting out of the way because, if you have a heart to serve and you purchase leads and you care about people, it's hard not to be successful here. Amie, one thing I want to ask you, financially, I know last month you guys probably had your best month since you've been here, in the 6 months. What did you guys issue pay? And when I say issue pay, guys, when the client pays for a policy, that's when we get credit for it. So it's not when we just go submit it and they don't pay for it and then it cancels. We actually get credit when they pay. How much did you guys issue pay in the month of March?
It was a little over $42,000.
$42,000, and that's in 1 month, not 12 months, right?
Right, in 1 month.
Okay.
I know. Sounds crazy still.
Again, outside looking in, guys, it's true. I promise it's true. Deposits, what do you guys think you got deposited into your bank account roughly from that $42,000 issue paid?
Probably around 38, 40.
Okay, guys. So again, issue paid converting to getting actually paid in your business, like your checking account, your savings account, 38,000. And again, I don't know where you could do this. COVID, pre-COVID, any industry, you know, it sure as heck wasn't going to happen in the mattress industry. So that's why we're glad we stuck this one out. Yes. But how the heck does that feel for your family? And, you know, pretty much proving your decision right to come to Family First Life and work alongside your husband and, you know, show your kids that, hey, you know, if you work hard and you care, like things do work out.
Right. I was just thinking like how many cupcakes I would have had to sell. And how many cupcakes our kids would be eating along the way.
Right.
So I'm sorry, Josh, I got off on Cupcakes gone. Okay, give me that question one more time. How
has it felt, you know, last month being kind of the, you know, the spearhead for your guys' success so far within the 6 months you've been here? How has it felt, you know, getting deposited that money and, you know, all the hard work that goes into it, but what does it mean to you guys to really get compensated for all the work you've put in?
Truly, like that number, it translates into like how many families we helped, which is first and foremost, that's amazing to us. Secondary is just the benefit from helping those families is getting to provide for our family. So it's the opportunity is a win-win. Like we work really hard, but the system is in place. So it's just following a system and going out, helping people that request your help and getting paid for it. So, it's truly mind blowing that we get paid the amount of money we get paid for just having a servant's heart and really going out and helping people.
Yep.
And if I could add on.
Yep. All you, Pat.
I don't think our kids know how well we're doing because we haven't changed anything. We're not gonna go out and, you know, like get something lavish and let them think that all of a sudden like we're making a lot of money. Like we're just not like that. We're still going to do things the exact same way we do them, and we're taking that and we're reinvesting it in the business. Like we're not going to invest it in fixing up our house or buying new cars or doing anything like that. Like we're going to put it back in because we want to grow this thing as fast as we possibly can. So our kids they might have a little indication that things are better than they were, but by no means are they getting spoiled all of a sudden, you know?
I was just imagining like the kids, they're like, Dad's been a lot happier lately, guys. Like March was good. But, and guys, these are people that have been in the life insurance industry for less than 6 months. It's not something we went to school for, got degrees in, worked 20 years in. It's literally a plug and play system. You know, we help people that are, you know, raising their hand for help, and we literally just go help them. And that's what's so cool about this thing. Last thing I kind of wanted to hit on, and Pat, I'm going to come to you. Working with your wife, literally hand in hand in this business, what has that meant for you guys? What has that done for your family? And kind of just, how does it feel like when you lay your head at bed at night and you're like, oh my God, like my best friend, my wife, I get to run this thing together. And it's something that you guys always wanted to do, and now you're doing it, and you're being financially successful, and just the overall feeling of working with Amie.
I absolutely love it. You have this vision and you have this dream, and though there are so many times when you know the vision darkens or the dream goes away, or you just don't see how you're going to get there, and this system, like you said, the plug and play Family First Life system, what Sean Mike created, and you know so many people along the way have brought to where it is right now. I mean, when I go home, like from a day of work, and I'm sitting down, Amie and I are sitting down, and we're talking about how we're going to do things better the next day. What are the other things? And I always know that the person who's working with me in this is going to work harder than I am, because I know how hard Amie works, and I'm just going to try my best to keep up with her. So I never have to worry about like, oh, that person, you know, they don't really care as much as I do. There's nobody who cares more than Amie. There's nobody who is like relentless in her work more. So I always know that like I've got that person right there with me. And from the time we wake up in the morning to the time we go to bed at night, it's like, this is what's on our mind. This is our dream, and this is our opportunity. We've never had a better opportunity than we do right now. And I just, you know, it makes me feel like all of it finally worked. It took us a long time. It took us going through all these different things to get here, but this is it. This is our moment. And I'm just super stoked and super thankful for you guys and for Sean Mike, for Andrew Taylor, for providing this for us.
Hey man, well, we're excited for you guys, and we're blessed to be in business with you guys. And I don't know, it gets fun when you work with, you know, better people, and you work with people that literally just want to get better every single day. And it sounds a lot like Amie and Alondra are the same, because Alondra told me early on, she's like, you get on this ship or it's moving without you. Like, hey, she's like, I'm going to be successful no matter what. So it's like, you're either with me or you're against me, because, you know, I'm going to be traveling to other states and you're going to be stuck in your W-2, you know, clocking in and out. And I don't know how it's going to work. So you better get it together. But Amie, I'm going to end with you. How has it been vice versa? You know, seeing Pat kind of go like the progression, you know, not only within him, but within you guys, and working together, and, you know, just the short success you guys have had since you've been here.
Yeah, Pat's just, in my mind, he's brilliant. And so I always knew that he would be successful at this, and just getting to do it side by side and building this dream together. Honestly, we've had, like Pat said, we're very creative in our mindset. We don't shy down when it comes to risk or investing in a dream, but this is the only one that seems like real. Like we can actually do this together and make something big out of it. So it's been amazing, a blessing. And again, we're so grateful and thankful for the opportunity.
Love it. Love it. And real quick, Pat, I'm going to start with you. If someone's watching this and they're in the same boat, you know, they're teaching, they're, you know, they're a correctional officer, they're a police officer, whatever, you know, field they're in, and they're not satisfied and they want to work directly with you, how would they get a hold of you?
So call me, text me. My number is 858-518-0555. So that's 858-518-0555. It's like impossible to forget. But yeah, reach out to me. I would be happy to talk to you about the transition and how you can do this. Start out part-time and work your way to full-time when you're ready. Like, it doesn't have to be an overnight thing. You'll know. You will absolutely know when you're ready. And I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I was in education for 20 years, so I definitely, you know, I had that pension waiting. It's still there. It'll be there. I'm not going to need it, but it'll be there. And I'd be happy to help you get there too.
And Amie, everybody watching, same thing. I'm sure there's a lot of stay-at-home moms or a lot of people in the same boat that think they could still be doing something to help provide, you know, as well, outside of your full-time job with the kids. But if they wanted to get a hold of you, how could they get a hold of you?
858-518-0553. So literally one number off, you can reach me or Pat.
Love it. So guys, if you mess up on one of their numbers, you're probably going to reach the spouse. So you're good to go. But I just want to end with this, guys. There are so many great people out there, this couple included, that just want to help other people. And we just want to help everybody get in a better financial situation for their family and give them a better opportunity than where they're currently at. So if you're seeing this, guys, reach out to these two. There's not a better couple. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks, guys.